Kumusta kayo mga kabuknoy? At pinatawag ko kayong lahat upang ating pag-usapan ang pagre-revisa o pagpapalit sa naturang batas ng RA 5487 or Private Security Agency Law papunta sa House Bill number 8783 ng Diwa Party List. Ito yung Private Security Industry Act, no? Na sinusulong sa Senado sa pangunguna ni Senator Bato de la Rosa. So pagka na-aprobahan ito mga kabuknoy, ito na ang magiging batas ng gwardiya. So ito na yung magiging bagong batas, hindi na yung Republic Act 5487 na kung saan marami sila daw nasilip. Kumbaga binabaliwala lang ng agency at more on agency ang batas na yun, hindi para sa mga gwardiya. So ayun na nga, no? Sabi ni Senator Bato de la Rosa, ang batas ng RA 5487 ay malapit na mag-retard. Pero ito daw ay 52 years. So after 52 years, sa kanila nalaman na mayroon palang maraming discrepancy. So ang paboran ko lang dito ay yung client at agency. So talagang aping-api ang mga gwardiya. So lingin naman sa kaalaman natin, no? Paulit-ulit ang mga reklamo at pang-api ng mga hinayupak na agency walang kasawa-sawa at walang nagagawa dito ang panuntunan ng sosya. At mas gusto pa nilang mareklamo kay Sir Rapi Tulfo sa paulit-ulit na pang-api. Kung sana sa batas na ito magkaroon ng pagbabago mga kabuknoy. So na kayo, sama-sama natin gawan ng reaksyon at pakinggan ang bawat sinasabi ng mga nandoon sa Senado, no? Yung mga proposal na halos pinanood ko, halos maraming magandang pakinggan. So pulis sana magkatotoo pagkatapos ipasa ang batas na ito. So na mga kabuknoy, mas magandang tapusin niyo ang video na ito para mas lalong lumawak ang inyong kaalaman bilang isang gwardiya. Let's go!
Pasado na sa Kamara ang panukalang batas na magtitiyak sa karapatan at tamang pasahod ng mga security guards sa buong bansa.
Ang Private Security Industry Act. Layo ng panukala na amyendahan ng RA 5487 o ang Private Security Agency Law.
Actually po yung dating batas na meron tayo ngayon ay nakatuon po sa mga negosyante at mga agency operator. Wala po masyado tungkol sa mga karapatan ng mga gwardiya. Wala po nababanggit doon sa batas na yon. Dito po sa batas na bago ay binibigyan po ng malaking boses at madami pong mga provision para sa karapatan ng ating gwardiya na 500,000 po sila nakarehistro po sa buong Pilipinas.
Nakapaloob dito ang mga labor safeguard para sa sektor.
Tingnan nyo mga kabuknoy, no? 500,000 na pala tayo ng mga gwardiya, yung mga rehistrado, no? Bukod pa doon sa mga hindi nakarehistrado, so expect na mas mahigit pa yung bilang na yan sa ating inaakala. No? So after 52 years pala, ang batas na ito ay marami pa discrepancy. So, pasalamat tayo kay Sir Mike Aglipay ng Diwa Party List at nabigyan ng pansin ang mga gwardiya. Tuloy tayo.
Batay dito, hindi dapat sumasahod ng mas mababa sa minimum wage ang isang gwardiya. Dapat ring matiyak na naibibigay ang lahat ng benepisyo. Sa Metro Manila halimbawa, sinabi ni Aglipay na lampas sa 800 pesos ang arawang sahod ng isang security guard sa 12 oras na shift. Subalit mayoriya raw sa mga kumpanya at agencies ay hindi sumusunod sa tamang pasahod.
Ginugulangan kasi pag kinompute mo lahat ng benepisyo ng guard, almost 32,000 na yan kasi meron pang SSS Pag-ibig Health yan, 13 month, 5 days incentive leave, diba? Uniform allowance. So hindi nila nakukuha yon dahil paano mapukuha yon almost na po yon 35,000 na po yon yung mga binabanggit ko. Ang babayad lang ng kunyari na mga mall o ng mga industriya is 25, kulang ng 10.
Nakasaad rin sa panukala na dapat natatanggap ng mga CQ ang tamang pasahod kapag sila ay naililipat sa...
Nakita nyo kabuknoy, di ba? Yung mga binanggit ni Congressman Mike Aglipay, di ba? Yung mga nabanggit niya, halos karamihan hindi doon nagbibigay, no? Mga ilan lang sa mga matitong agency ang nagbibigay ng ganong benepisyo, yung mga nabanggit niya na yon. So, yung batas ito na RA 5487 ay halos walang silbi pala sa mga gwardiya, no? Kapag hindi nagbigay ang mga agency ay parang wala lang. No? Parang hindi nila inahabol. Kung wala nagrereklamo, ay walang may bibigyan ng mga ganong benepisyo. Tutuloy tayo.
Sakop din ng panukala ang pagkakaroon ng TESDA course para sa mga gustong maging gwardiya. May Study Now, Pay Later program din para sa mga walang pambayad sa training. Samantala, mahaharap naman sa katakot-takot na parusa ang mga lalabag sa batas. Hindi bababa sa 6 na taong pagkakabilanggo at multang hindi rin bababa sa 1 milyong piso ang aabuti ng bawat individual, korporasyon, partnership o asosasyon na lalabag dito.
Wow. Wow, sana magkatotoo. So, yun, di ba? Narinig nyo nung mga sinabi sa batas na yun. So, tuloy tayo. Doon sa video na kung saan doon naman sa Senado pinag-usapan noong June 1. Okay, tuloy tayo.
This morning, we are going to tackle House Bill number 8783 or the Private Security Industry
Ayan na.
Act. Magandang umaga muli sa ating
Ayan na,
lahat.
si Senator Bato, ano?
Which
Ito ay nangyari noong June 1.
Public Act 5487, otherwise known as the Private Security Agency Law. For
Ayan,
context,
pakinggan nyo.
RA 5487 was approved on June 21, 1969. Today is June 1, 2021, which means that this law is only a few days shy from celebrating its 52nd year of enactment. Malapit na pala mag-retire itong law na ito.
Diba yun yung sinasabi ko mga kabukre, ano? Yung batas na ito is 52 years.
In a span
So pagkatagal-tagal na pala to, so ngayon lang nabigyan ng pansin. So ibig sabihin marami ng nakinabang at naburaot na security agency sa mga kawawang gwardiya. So sana nga may pasaang bansa ito at magkaroon ng pagbabago. Sana, wish lang natin. Tuloy tayo.
is still capable of providing order to the private security industry as well as protecting the rights of those who belong to it. If not, then it is likewise our duty to identify its gaps and inadequacies and to shed light on how House Bill 8783 addresses these problems. Nararapat lamang na ating bigyan pansin at halaga ang industriyang tumutulong sa ating mga kapulisan upang mapanatili ang seguridad ng ating mga komunidad. Kung sa ilalim ng umiiral na batas ay tila hindi sila napapahalagahan, kung hindi na sapat ang umiiral na batas upang tugunan ang mga pangangailangan nila at ng mga tao at kumpanyang kukuha sa kanila, marahil nga ay dapat nang gumawa ng panibagong batas. I began my statement by establishing some purposes of the law. Indeed, the end that we envision for today is that we may help to establish standards for and protect the rights and liberties of the private security industry and those involved in it. After all, those who afford us protection and security must also be protected and secured under the law. I thank you all, not only for being present physically or virtually, but also in anticipation of a meaningful and fruitful discussion in this hearing. Thank you and good morning again. May we know if any of the senators present today would like to deliver the preliminary statement, and I start with the PNP.
As well as dangerous drugs, the private
Ayun mga kabukre, no? Yung magsasalita, ito yung director ng CSG or Civil Security Group. Alright, pakinggan natin ang kanyang proposal sa batas na ito.
As mentioned a while ago, the Chief Sosya, Police Brigadier General Sidney Villaflor, and the Chief Firearms and Explosive Office, Police Brigadier General Romil Mitra, and their respective staffs, fellow workers in government, friends, ladies and gentlemen, magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat. Number 8783, titled An Act Strengthening the Private Security Industry, repealing for the purpose Republic Act number 5487, entitled An Act to Regulate the Organization and Operation of Private Detective, Watchmen, or Security Guards Agencies as amended. The PNP is in unison with the wisdom of the Congress in pursuing the legislative measure. The private security industry has grown rapidly since the advent of Republic Act number 5487, as mentioned by the Honorable Chairman. that it's almost already 52 years that we have this law. The rapid advancement in technology as well as the emergence of novel practices in the private security industry have rendered the present law unresponsive and incapable of regulating the emerging fields of security services. On the foregoing statements, the PNP reiterates that although private security agencies may be allowed to own and possess firearms, the same should be in consonance with prevailing laws, rules, and regulation. And along this line, we will be submitting our position on this aspect. And in addition to it is we would want also to recommend that the phrase Supervisory Office for Security and Investigation Agencies be deleted from the definition of accreditation under Section 4, paragraph A. This will authorize other specialized PNP units such as the Police Security and Protection Group and the PNP EOD K9 Group to issue the appropriate certification or authority needed by persons involved in the private security. So with this, once again, sirs, moms, thank you very much for seeking the position of the PNP on this important legislative matter, and rest assured of our continuous support on matters of mutual concern. Buhay at God bless.
Thank you.
Ayan, napinggan nyo ang paliwanag or yung sinabi ng director ng Civil Security Group na si General Daway, ano? O, intindihin nyo na lang maigi mga kabukloy, no? Medyo, minsan mag-interrupt tayo. So, mahaba yung video na to. Kinat ko na lang yung iba, yung medyo hindi naman na importante. So, para mas mapabilis tayo sa ating discussion. So, sa dulo ng video na ito, ay magbibigay tayo ng ating reaksyon, kuro-kuro, no? So, sana ano din kayo kabukloy, kung kayo may kuro-kuro o ano yung sa loobin, i-comment nyo na lang dito sa comment section para ating mapag-usapan kung kayo bestang ayon o hindi. Right, tuloy tayo.
Police Major General Ferdinand Daway, Lieutenant General Enrique Galang, sir.
And also,
Yan.
I had the opportunity
Yan,
prior to the pandemic in being invited together with Colonel Espejo here of
Pakinggan nyo lang kabukloy,
Pagpang
no? Tuloy-tuloy lang
to
tayo.
the yearly International Summit on Private Security, always hosted by global security providers led by Huawei of China, one of the biggest global security provider. And we saw there
Wow.
that the trend now of private security is precisely to be global in its operations.
Wow.
And if
Global,
we are
pakinggan,
exporting
diba?
domestic helpers, why don't we export also professionally trained private security professionals? In our several yearly meetings during the summit, we have consistently asked CEOs of globally certified security provider how much is the basic pay for those who are employed outside of their country. And the minimum is $2,000 basic pay only. Wala pa yung mga incentives and honoraria. As a matter of fact, one of the successful stories of global security provider, particularly Huawei Security Agency, is that through the boarding of professionally trained guards on board ships, they were able to resolve already the piracy in Somalia because of the private security personnel boarded on ships. Kaya wala na tayong naririnig na piracy sa Somalia. It is unfortunate for our country na ang plus point ng piracy ngayon, downside of the Philippines, courtesy of the Abu Sayyaf, hindi na sa Somalia. And therefore, we would like to prepare the industry and its profession to be global also, and it is very simple only in our presentation. It will only need one provision that will be included in the proposed law. If I am at liberty to already discuss this, Your Honor.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. You have the floor.
The first is, we can only include a provision that will state that restrictive provisions of this proposed act may be waived upon application by the private security agency and approval by the PNP SOSIA CSG in favor of the listed requirements of duly recognized global certifying bodies. At present, Your Honor, there are two certifying bodies, the United Nations itself and the Switzerland-based certifying body that is globally recognized. So, for private security agencies aspiring to be qualified and certified as global security providers, if we can insert this in the law, then it will take time for any private security agency to be globally certified because of the very restrictive requirements also. Because if you will not be certified as a global security provider, you cannot offer your services to other countries. My point here is, kung tayo ay natutuwang mag-export ng domestic helpers, why not professionally train security personnel? However, we cannot level up the training of our current guards right now whose salaries are only equivalent to a janitor's pay in spite of the so many requirements and trainings before any guard can be issued by the SOSHA of the license to exercise security profession. Ang daming requirements. That is why, if we will not increase their salaries, then mawawala tayo na recruitment. In my case alone, I have lost 200 guards to the Grab, to the Panda, to the Lalamove. Kasi mas malaki ang kinikita nila. In NCR alone, in our limited study, yung mga food delivery earns at least 1,000 pesos a day that the posted guard in NCR cannot earn. 500
Ayun.
pesos lang sila eh.
Nalaman na nila ang discrepancy ng ng gwardiya saka yung mga sinasabi ni General Galang, di ba? Minsan mas malaki pang sinasahod ng mga delivery rider sa gwardiya. Samantalang sinasabi yan, lisensyado tayo at nag-training. At sandabakpak tayong training bago magkagwardya. So after 3 years, napapasok pa ang ating lisensya. So samantalang yung mga delivery riders ay minsan 1,000 na higit pa ang kanilang sinasahod. Ayon sa kanyang paliwanag, which is totoo naman kapag masipag, di ba? So, ang kaibahan kasi dyan, training tayo, saan naman pagka-training, so pagkababa ng sahod ng gwardiya. So, minsan nabuburaot pa ng hinayupak na agency, di ba? So, yun ang sinasabi niya rito. So, tuloy tayo.
Janitors. But the point is, yung security personnel must have a higher minimum wage compared to janitors and other general workers was provided for by our regional tripartite wage boards.
Sana
Yes, but
totoo.
for clarity purposes, yung
sana
sinasabi naman
totoo
dyan
yan.
na minimum wage law, minimum lang. Minimum lang. You can raise that up if you want to, but minimum lang sinasabi niyan, hindi bababa. So meaning, kung gusto mong maging global at we want to offer higher salaries, pwede naman siyang pataasan. There's no restriction on increasing. But there is a restriction in reducing.
That is very true, Your Honor.
Yeah.
But the minimum is equivalent to a janitor's pay only. And there is nobody in the industry that I know of that will increase the minimum. As a matter of fact, there are still
Yun.
clients who do not pay for the
Yun.
minimum.
Sana
That is
totoo.
Totoo yan, sir. Totoo yan.
Condition that we have. But if we will include in the law that the minimum wages for the security personnel will be different, and then they have no choice except to follow it. And nothing in the law prescribes that. It remains to be the minimum as what is applied now. And so our proposals, Your Honor, will be two options. First is to authorize the Chief PNP, being the person in authority for the implementation of the Private Security Agency law, to organize a separate tripartite wage board to determine the appropriate minimum wages for the security professionals, provided they are higher than the minimum being determined by the existing regional tripartite wage boards.
Oh,
If this will not be possible, our second option is simply insert in the law requiring the existing regional tripartite wage boards to separately determine the minimum wages for the security professionals, again provided they are higher than what are determined for the general workers. So, kung masingit yun, then yung restriction na law na minimum pa rin, mawawala yon. So, there will now be two determination, minimum wages for workers in general and minimum wages for the security professional. And if we can increase the wages of the security professionals, then we can level up the training. to prepare them to become world-class for those aspiring to be globally certified as security provider. Then, of course, also,
Yes, yes,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
yan nakikita ko dyan, sir. If we create a separate tripartite committee for setting another standard for the minimum of security specialist, baka mamaya later on itong mga taxi driver magdidemand na naman ng separate na minimum wage.
Yan.
Kasi yung minimum niya na set up by the law is para sa everyone yan, para sa lahat talaga yan. But yun nga, sabi natin, kung mag-create another, that it will open floodgates for other sectors to
Diba? Maganda masyado yung proposal ni si General Calang, di ba?
So, baka
So, sana magkatotoo ito mga ganitong proposal, hindi lang sa usaping ito. So, sana, magdasal tayo mga kabuknoy na magkatotoo ang mga pinapropose dito sa Senado ng batas na ito. Mas maganda kung maprobahan at matuloy-tuloy. Tuloy tayo mga kabuknoy, na?
in the case of the industry, we have a separate regulatory body, except that it has no authority to determine the minimum wages. My point is, there are so many trainings before a person could exercise the security profession. First, he has to undergo the pre-licensing course. Second, wherever he will be posted, like mall, he is again required to undergo mall security course. If it is in the bank security course. If it is in the airport, aviation security course, and so many others. And every 3 years, he has to undergo refresher course. But for the other workers, there is no such training
Tama.
and
Napakaraming
refresher
training.
courses and specialized courses required.
Oh.
But why is it then
Yeah,
that
yan,
the security guard undergoing so many specialized training will have only the same
Yan.
minimum
Another seminar.
wages as compared to other workers?
Yan.
I think we can justify
Yan.
it, Your Honor, by just simply
Expired. Yan.
allowing the other options, no, for the industry to have its own
Yan.
tripartite waste board, or simply requiring the
Yun.
existing regional tripartite waste board to separately determine the minimum wages for the security personnel.
anyway, sir, well taken. Your points are being well
Yan.
taken by this committee.
Thank you very
Please,
much, Your Honor.
continue.
And thirdly, to effectively fight transnational crimes, particularly terrorism, we can make use of the professionally trained security personnel. Because right now, we have the Bachelor of Science in Industrial Security Administration, and I happen to be a member of the Technical Working Group, and my chair of the Technical Working Group is present here, Mr. Joel Supan. So it was already approved by CHED, offered by different schools already. Our recommendation here, Your Honor, is for the graduates of this course later on, and there are no graduates yet right now, to be included as signatory to a building plan before a permit for the building construction can be issued, side by side with the civil engineers.
Ayan mga bok, no, medyo ikat po natin sa video na ito. Medyo na tayo dito related sa gwardiya. So, talon tayo ng magsasalita. Wait lang. Alright mga bok, no, para mapabilis tayo. Talon tayo dito kay kay Sir Mike Datuin. Pakinggan natin itong mga sinabi niya.
Thank you. Michael Batuin, the National President, Security Guards Association, 59ers of the Philippines, SIGAP 59ers.
Yan,
Go ahead, sir.
SIGAP 59ers, ang kanyang grupo ni Sir Mike Datuin.
Magandang araw po.
So, isa rin itong magandang advokasya para sa mga gwardiya. So, ngayon ko lang ito nakita si Sir, medyo familiar yung sounds, familiar yung pangalan niya. So, pahinga natin ang sasabihin ni Sir, Mas parang maganda itong mga
Yan po
sabihin
ang
niya.
aming call
Tuloy tayo.
center kapag nagtatawagan po
Yan.
kaming mga gwardiya, ka-59, ka-security. It's on the 10 code, sir.
Yan,
Okay. Thank you
Michael
for the
Datuin.
clarification. Go ahead. You have the floor.
59ers.
Thank you, sir.
Hindi alam ni Sir ba to?
To the chairman of the Committee on Public Order, Dangerous Drugs,
59.
Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa, sir. To the honorable member
Yan.
senators of this committee,
59ers.
sirs, ma'am. at sa lahat po ng mga kinakatawan ng pribadong industriya ng seguridad, isang ligtas at mapayapang
Yan, balikan
araw po sa ating lahat. First and foremost, on behalf of all the almost 600,000 plus legally registered and licensed security guards in the Philippines, please allow me to thank you for this opportunity and to be able to air our position in House Bill 87383. Ako po si Michael or Mike Datuin. I am a strong advocate of the professionalization, upliftment, and unification of all security guards, as well as the private security industry as a whole. Starting as a security guard 20 years ago, seeing the horrors, sacrifices, and success stories of our fellow security personnel firsthand, I held strong as I rose from the ranks in the security industry and started empowering my colleagues in the simple way I can, working hand in hand with our government's armed forces and law enforcement groups, being its force
Wow.
multiplier, but just as
Dating
well
Guardia
as
si Sir.
working close with our Department of Labor and Employment as member of its various advisory groups and tripartite council, fighting for the rights of our security guard force from social inequality, unfair labor practices, working conditions and wages, as well as the possible threats to this profession from anti-government groups trying to exploit our noble profession. This COVID-19 has been a very, very heavy burden and pain to most of the Filipinos, especially the non-medical frontliners, among of which are the lowly security guards. They man most, if not all, medical facilities and most, if not all, government offices, private buildings, quarantine facilities, and residences. These guard forces had suffered yet tried and continued to sustain the stability of the facilities despite their difficult condition professionally and personally. Not being able to go home to their families, not being allowed equal access in checkpoints, in some, being questioned during its evening and early morning travel to work and not getting support from some government financial assistance when laid off. Not all security agencies were approved for TUPAD, assistance or tulong panghanap buhay sa ating disadvantaged or displaced workers by the Department of Labor, which I wouldn't know why, but most, if not all, security agencies were able to submit their request. A community-based package of assistance that provides emergency employment for displaced workers, underemployed and seasonal workers. Hence, most of the guards were not able to get ayuda or financial support since they were recognized by the LGUs as people who were employed. I know this for a fact because I have received to date 576 requests for assistance varying from being terminated, being relieved, being unemployed for more than 6 to 7 months, their families being evicted from the space they are renting, no food to eat, not being recognized as essential worker in checkpoints, and some dying from COVID without company or government assistance. Emphasis on some. There are good companies that supports their security personnel. We hope sana all. At long last, ang kinatawan ng kagwardyahan ng buong Pilipinas ay nabigyan ng pagkakataong may parating ang hinaing at matagal ng saloobin ng aking mga kasamahan sa hanay ng mga manggagawang pribado at pampublikong tanod ng Pilipinas. Higit kami nagpapasalamat kay Senator Bato sa kanyang komite sa napapanahong pag-uusap na ito upang mailahad ang matinding karagdagang pahirap dulot ng pandemyang ito sa aming hanay. To inform the body, almost 50% of the legally employed, if not more than this, has lost their jobs as practicing security guards. Nabanggit naman po ni General Galang. And others are not being paid their wages, and some others are not being housed and protected by their employees and clients while rendering their duties as security guards in each facilities they service. In fairness, baka po yung ibang agencies hindi rin po nakakasingil. Kahabag-habag ang buhay ng mga gwardya dahil sila ang isang halimbawa ng overwork and underpaid ng mga empleyado. Karamihan ay kumikita lamang ng 400 pesos sa 12 oras ng pagbabantay sa isang araw. This is an NCR rate. Ang masaklap, minsan, umaabot pa ng 24 hours hanggang 36 hours. Worst, hanggang 48 hours ang pagbabantay nila sa kanilang pwesto. ng halos walang tulog ngunit wala man lang daw overtime pay at maging night differential. At ito'y dahil wala silang karelyebo. Madalas rin ay wala ring benepisyo ang mga kasamahang gwardya. Ngunit kinakaltas naman ito sa kanilang sahod. We ask the question, why? And why is it proliferating? If we try to assess at the Department of Labor, almost 40% of all complainants are security guards. This is almost half of the numbers of complainants all over the country. Napakarami na pong mabibigat na sitwasyon at paglalabis ang aming dinaranas na kailangan na pong masolusyonan once and for all to prevent further incidents related to this profession. May I only cite a few incidents to reflect on. Green Hills hostage-taking incident, the shooting of a guard to a violator in Pasay, to a beating of a security guard of a homeowner, to an illegal deduction of an operator of a security agency to its guards, to an Abu Sayyaf, a security guard, to a foreign security guard rendering duty in the Philippines, to a foreign-owned security group managing of multiple security agencies, and worst of all, the cutthroating competition in the private security industry. As I have been invited at this hallowed hall for discussion as resource person on the House bill, authored and sponsored by Congressman Michael Edgar Aglipay and other co-sponsors and co-authors, I wish to take the rare opportunity to convey these messages of real circumstances and the current plight of our 600,000 plus strong security personnel. As a member of the Department of Labor and Employment Private Security Industry, the Tripartite Council, and the supporter of Department Order 150-16, the revised guidelines governing the employment and working conditions of security guards and other private security personnel in the private security industry. My prayer is for all of the above mentioned to be highly considered in the debate and discussion in consideration of the creation or crafting of this bill, as well as DO 150-16 of the DOLE across the country efficiently. It answers all the industry's concerns: security guards training and standards, working conditions, guards and agency operators' income. Being in the front line requires so much acceptance of risk with only a minimum wage salary. We are no different from our soldiers, police, overseas workers, nurses, and others whom most often needs to be away from family to pursue a better life, a good life, and a reason for living, even if it sacrifices their own. Wala pong medalya, wala pong pislay or ano pa pong benepisyo. Of which this House bill recognizes this and all others and can be given solution through the proper crafting of the new IRR as it would be properly crafted, especially administratively, which sadly most are placed on. In closing, allow me to share Cebu Royal Plant versus Deputy Minister of Labor, J. Cruz, GR number L58639, August 12, 1987. It says, and I quote, "We take this opportunity to reaffirm our concern for the lowly worker who, often at the mercy of his employers, must look up to the law for his protection. Fittingly, that law regards him with tenderness and even favor, and always with faith and hope in his capacity to help in shaping the nation's future. It is error to take him for granted. He deserves our abiding respect. How society treats him will determine whether the knife, or in this case, the gun, in his hands shall be a carrying tool for beauty and progress, or an angry weapon of defiance and revenge. The choice is obvious. Of course, if we cherish him as we should, we must resolve to lighten the weight of centuries of exploitations and disdain that bends his back but does not bow his head." Naway magabayan po tayong lahat ng may kapal tungo sa ikauunlad ng industriya ng paggawa at mapagyabong ng ating uri ng magagawang gwardya. Mike Datuin po, maraming salamat.
Wow, mga kabuknoy, no? Yung napakinggan. Doon ako nagandahan lahat sa mga nag-propose sa mga sinabi ni Sir Mike Datuin, ano? Mahaba pa sana yung video na ito, marami pang nagsalita, so masyado na mahaba yung video natin. So yung iba na hindi naman halos magandang sinabi, so pinili natin yung mga magandang sinabi, no? So sa lahat na nagsalita dito, ang mga nagandahan ko dito si Sir Mike Datuin. talagang ramdam mo sa isang dating security guard ang problema. So lahat ng problema nasabi niya na, di ba? So ano kayang maitutulong ng batas na ito? Yung House Bill number 8783, yung Private Security Industry Act. So magkakaroon nga ba ng malaking pagbabago ito kung sakali may ipasa? Or ganun pa rin, patuloy na maapi ang mga gwardya? Kasi lingid sa kalaman yung mga kabuk, no? Pilipinas, napakaraming batas. Kahit ano na lang may batas, no? Pero sa implementasyon, kulang. No, halimbawa yung ito, may bago na naman batas. What if yung may-ari ng agency, isang malaking tao, general, kilalang tao, tapos ang buwabangga, isang ordinary security guard. So tingin niya, magbumulta ba ng 1 milyon yan o magpapakulong? Tingnan na nga natin mga kabuknoy pag naipasa ang batas na ito, no? Kasi ang isipin natin, no? Napakaraming batas na pinapatupad, napakaraming batas na pinapasa. Pero sa pag-implement, no? Nagkabulol-bulol na ako. Sa pagpapa-implement, kulang naman sa implementasyon ay wala rin. Patuloy pa rin ang mga gwardyang naapi na mga maliliit na gwardya. So patuloy na namamayagpag ang malalaking tao. Ay nako. Kayo na mga kabuknoy, mag-comment kung ano nga ba, or dapat nga na bang palitan, or dapat implementasyon ang i-propose. No, maraming mga sinabi doon na proposal sa batas na ito na House Bill number 8783. Halos maganda natin pakinggan, no? Halos maganda pakinggan. Mapapasa na all ka na lang kung matutupad talaga lahat yan. At mapaparusahan yung mga agencying nag-aapi pa rin sa mga gwardya, mga kabuknoy. Ano yung sa loobin dito? I-comment nyo na agad dito. At i-share nyo yung video na ito. At salut ako sa iyo kung tinapos mo. Kasi mababa na ito mga kabuknoy. Isa kang gwardyang matino at marunong matuto. Alright. Salamat sa inyong panonood mga kabuknoy at pagsama sa akin sa mahabang usaping ito. I-share nyo sa mga kabuknoy nating dyan. Wala ka lang at gusto mo tuto. At sa mga nagko-comment naman na masyadong matalino, di kayo na. No? Pinapaliwanag ko lang dito kung anong saloobin ko at kung ano yung naintindahan ko batay sa mga napanood ko, mga kabuknoy. Hanggang sa muli, peace out!